The ambush and awakening. The research vessel Prometheus Dawn glided silently through the star-speckled void of deep space, its hull gleaming under the distant light of twin suns. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her weathered hands clasped behind her back as she watched the cosmic display through the main viewport. The ship was humanity's pride in exploration technology, packed with terraforming equipment bound for the struggling colony of Epsilon 7. "Captain, we're approaching the Kepler Belt asteroid field," announced Navigation Officer Chun Wei, his fingers dancing across the holographic display. "Eta to Epsilon 7 is approximately 18 hours at current speed." Elena nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the starlight. "Maintain course, Chun. Those colonists have been waiting 3 months for this." "Equipment. Every day we delay means more lives at risk." In the engineering bay, Chief Engineer Jake Morrison wiped grease from his hands as he emerged from beneath a massive terraforming processor. His reputation for innovative solutions had earned him a place on this critical mission. Jake believed that human engineering, while appearing primitive to other species, possessed a ruggedness that alien technology often lacked. "Riley, run another diagnostic on the communication array." Jake called to communications specialist Riley Brooks, a young woman whose expertise in xenolinguistics had proven invaluable in first contact situations. "I want to make sure we can reach the colony the moment we drop out of hyperspace." Dr. Amara Singh, the ship's xenobiologist, looked up from her research terminal, where she was analyzing soil samples from their last planet survey. Her military background before joining the scientific corps made her uniquely qualified to assess both biological and tactical threats. Something about their current trajectory through this remote sector made her uneasy. "Jake, have you noticed anything unusual about our sensor readings?" Amara asked, her voice carrying a note of concern that immediately caught everyone's attention. Before Jake could respond, the ship's proximity alarms began blaring. Chun's face went pale as he stared at his instruments. "Captain, we have multiple contacts approaching fast. 3 vessels, configuration unknown." Elena rushed to the tactical display. The approaching ships were sleek, angular, and clearly built for war. Their design was unlike anything in the human database. Red alert. All hands to battle stations. "Riley, try to establish communication." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing the bridge of the lead alien vessel. The creature that appeared was tall and imposing, with pale blue skin stretched over sharp features. Its eyes were completely black, reflecting no emotion. When it spoke, its voice carried the cold precision of absolute authority. "Human vessel. I am Admiral Kekstar of the Zetherian Empire. Your species has been deemed primitive and unworthy of this sector of space. Prepare to be boarded." Elena stepped forward, her voice steady despite the overwhelming odds. "This is Captain Elena Rodriguez of the Earth vessel Prometheus Dawn. We are on a humanitarian mission to deliver medical and terraforming supplies to our colony. We mean no harm to your people." Admiral Kekstar's expression remained unchanged. "Your intentions are irrelevant. You possess technology that belongs to superior beings. Your resistance will be futile." The transmission ended abruptly. Elena turned to her crew, seeing the determination in their eyes despite the fear. "Jake, can we outrun them?" Jake shook his head grimly. "Not a chance, Captain. Those ships are military grade. We're a research vessel with defensive capabilities at best." The first electromagnetic pulse hit the Prometheus Dawn like an invisible hammer. Every light on the bridge flickered and died. The gentle hum of the ship's systems faded to an ominous silence. Emergency lighting cast an eerie red glow across the bridge as the crew struggled to understand what had happened. "Report!" Elena shouted over the emergency klaxons. "EMP blast took out our primary systems," Jake called back, his hands flying over dead control panels. Main power is offline, propulsion is dead, and our weapons are completely non-functional. Chun's voice was tight with worry. Navigation systems are down. We're drifting. Through the view screen, they watched as the Zetherian ships approached with predatory grace. Docking clamps attached to their hull with a resounding clang that echoed through the ship's corridors. "They're boarding us," Riley whispered, her voice barely audible above. The sound of cutting tools working on their airlock. The airlock burst open with a shower of sparks. 6 Zetherian soldiers entered, their movements fluid and confident. They wore form-fitting armor that seemed to shift and adapt to their environment. Their weapons hummed with deadly energy. Admiral Kextar followed his soldiers onto the bridge, his black eyes scanning the human crew with obvious disdain. "Pathetic. Your technology is so primitive that our pulse weapons destroyed everything of value." Elena clenched her fists, but kept her voice level. "What do you want from us? Your cargo manifest indicates terraforming equipment, medical supplies, and research data. All of it will serve the Zetherian Empire better than your dying colony." Kextar gestured to his soldiers. "Begin the salvage operation." For the next 4 hours, the crew of the Prometheus Dawn watched helplessly as the Zetherians stripped their ship of everything valuable. The terraforming processors, medical synthesizers, and even personal equipment disappeared into the alien. "Cargo holds. Your ship is now dead in space," Kextar announced as his soldiers finished their work. "Your primitive technology cannot be repaired after exposure to our electromagnetic weapons. You will drift here until your life support fails." Jake couldn't contain his anger any longer. "You call us primitive, but you're nothing but pirates." Kextar turned his cold gaze to the engineer. "Pirates take what they need to survive. We take what we deserve as the superior species. There is a difference." As the Zetherians departed, sealing the airlock behind them, Elena looked around at her crew. They were stranded in deep space with no communication, no propulsion, and rapidly failing life support. "Well," she said with grim determination, "I guess it's time to prove that human ingenuity isn't as primitive as they think." Jake was already moving toward the emergency supply lockers. "Captain, those EMP weapons were designed to disable alien technology. But they made one crucial mistake." "What's that?" Amara asked, hope flickering in her voice. "They assumed all our technology would be vulnerable." Jake pulled out a handheld device that was clearly functioning. "This is an old Earth-made multi-tool, completely analog, built to survive electromagnetic interference. And it's not the only thing." Chun's eyes widened as understanding dawned. "The backup systems, exactly." Jake's grin was fierce with possibility. Human engineers learned to build redundancy into everything after the solar wars. We have analog backups, mechanical systems, and good old-fashioned human stubbornness. Elena felt a surge of hope. "What do you need?" "Time and everyone's help. We're going to rebuild this ship, but we're going to do it the human way." Riley discovered that her personal tablet, shielded by its primitive but effective Faraday cage design, still contained the complete ship's technical specifications. Chun found that the manual navigation instruments, considered obsolete by most modern standards, were completely unaffected by the electromagnetic pulse. Amara's biological research equipment, built to withstand the harsh conditions of alien worlds, remained operational. "These bioprocessors can be adapted to help with life support," she announced. "They're designed to work in environments where electronic systems fail." Jake led the team through the ship's darkened corridors, using emergency lighting to assess the damage. In the engineering section, he made a discovery that changed everything. "Look at this," he said, pointing to a massive machine that the Zetherians had ignored. "The emergency fusion backup generator. It's built into the ship's structure, completely mechanical. The EMP didn't touch it. Alana examined the device. Can you get it running? Give me 6 hours. Jake's confidence was infectious. Once we have power, we can start bringing other systems online. But Captain, I have an idea that goes beyond just getting home. I'm listening. Those Cytherians stole our terraforming equipment, but they left behind all the raw materials and components. They didn't understand what they were looking at. Jake's eyes gleamed with possibility. What if we don't just repair the Prometheus? Dawn, what if we upgrade it? Amara caught on immediately. Use the terraforming components as weapons? Not just weapons. Armor, improved propulsion, better sensors. The Cytherians think human technology is primitive, but what they don't understand is that primitive often means adaptable. Elena looked around at her crew. They were tired, frightened, but not defeated. Do it. Show me what human engineering can really accomplish. The work began immediately. Jake and Chun focused on the power systems, using components from the ships. Scientific equipment to create a more robust energy grid. Riley and Amara worked on communications, combining her linguistic computers with biological processing units to create a system that could intercept and decode. Cytherian transmissions dot. As the hours passed, the ship slowly came back to life. Not as it had been, but as something new and dangerous. The emergency lighting was replaced by a steady glow from improvised LED arrays. The air recycling systems hummed with renewed efficiency, enhanced by biological filters that could process toxins. The original designers had never imagined. Captain, Jake announced after 18 hours of continuous work, we have main power restored, life support at 120% of original capacity, and basic propulsion online. Helena nodded with satisfaction. Good work, everyone. But I want more than just basic systems. Those Cytherians left us for dead, and they're probably halfway to Epsilon 7 by now to finish what they started with our colonists. You want to go after them? Chun asked, disbelief evident in his voice. I want to show them that underestimating humans is a fatal mistake. Elena's voice carried the weight of command and the promise of retribution. Jake, how long until you can turn this research vessel into something that can fight? Jake's grin was predatory. Give me another day, Captain. When I'm done, the Cytherians won't know what hit them. Asterisk the transformation and revenge, the transformation of the Prometheus. Dawn began in earnest as Jake Morrison unveiled his audacious plan to the assembled crew. In the ship's main cargo bay, components that had been dismissed as worthless by the Cytherian raiders were being arranged in precise patterns across the deck. The beauty of human engineering, Jake explained as he welded 2 pieces of terraforming equipment together, is that we build things to be multi-purpose. This atmospheric processor, it can also focus energy into a coherent beam. This soil analysis laser, with the right modifications, it becomes a cutting weapon that can slice through ship hulls. Dr. Amara Singh watched in fascination as Jake worked. Her military background helped her understand the tactical implications of what he was proposing. You're essentially turning scientific instruments into weapons of war. Not just weapons. Jake corrected, pausing in his work to wipe sweat from his forehead. The Cytherians targeted our obvious military systems with their EMP, but they ignored our life support, our research equipment, our backup systems. They saw primitive technology and dismissed it as harmless. Elena Rodriguez supervised the operation. From the cargo bay's observation deck, below her, the crew worked with desperate efficiency. Riley Brooks had successfully modified the communication array to monitor Cytherian fleet movements, while Chun Wei redesigned the navigation system to operate on mechanical backups that no electromagnetic pulse could disable. Captain, Riley called out, her voice tight with excitement, I'm intercepting Cytherian communications. They're planning to attack Epsilon 7 in 36 hours. Admiral Kekstar is reporting to his superiors that this sector has been cleared of human resistance. Elena's jaw tightened. Then we need to be ready in 35 hours. Jake, status report. The main weapon array is coming together, Jake replied, indicating a complex assembly of modified terraforming equipment. I've created what I'm calling a matter displacement cannon. It uses the same principles as our soil processing units, but instead of analyzing dirt, it breaks down molecular bonds in whatever it hits. Chun looked up from his work on the propulsion system. I've managed to increase our engine efficiency by 40% using components from the atmospheric processors. We won't be faster than their ships, but will be much more maneuverable. Amara had been working on defensive systems. I've created a biological armor coating using the protein synthesizers from the medical bay. It can adapt to different types of energy weapons and actually become stronger when attacked. The work continued around the clock. The crew survived on emergency rations and determination, driven by the knowledge that their colonists were counting on them. As the ship's transformation progressed, it began to take on an appearance that was both alien and distinctly human. The hull was now covered in overlapping plates of adaptive armor that shifted color based on the surrounding environment. Weapon emplacements that looked like innocent scientific instruments were integrated seamlessly into the ship's structure. Most importantly, the ship's energy signature had been completely altered to make it appear as nothing more than a derelict vessel drifting through space. Approaching the outer perimeter of the Epsilon system, Chun announced as they neared their destination. Cytherian fleet detected. 3 heavy cruisers and a command vessel, just as Riley predicted. Elena studied the tactical display. The Cytherian ships were positioned in a standard blockade formation around the colony planet. Their confidence was evident in their casual spacing and lack of alert status. They're not even maintaining proper watch protocols, Amara observed. Admiral Kekstar really believes he eliminated all human resistance in this sector. That's going to be his fatal mistake, Elena replied. Jake, are all systems ready? All systems are green, Captain. The Prometheus Dawn is ready to show these aliens what human engineering can really do. Elena activated the ship's communication system. This is Captain Elena Rodriguez to all crew members. We're about to engage a superior enemy force to save our people. Remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves or even for the colonists. We're fighting to prove that humanity deserves its place among the stars. The Prometheus Dawn approached the Cytherian fleet under full stealth capabilities. The biological hull coating masked their heat signature, while the mechanical systems operated so quietly that they were virtually undetectable to enemy sensors. The first Cytherian cruiser never saw the attack coming. Jake's matter displacement. Cannon fired a concentrated beam that struck the alien vessel's port engine assembly. The sophisticated Cytherian shielding, designed to deflect energy weapons, was completely ineffective against a weapon that attacked matter at the molecular level. The cruiser's engine exploded in a brilliant flash of light, sending the massive ship spinning out of control. Emergency alarms began blaring across the Cytherian fleet as Admiral Kekstar's voice crackled over the communication channels. Impossible. All human vessels in this sector were destroyed. How can they be attacking us? Elena opened a channel to the Cytherian command ship. Admiral Kekstar, this is Captain Rodriguez. You made the mistake of underestimating human ingenuity. Now you're going to pay for that arrogance. The second Cytherian cruiser moved to engage the Prometheus Dawn, its advanced weapon systems targeting the human vessel. But Chun's navigation improvements allowed the ship to move in ways that the alien computers couldn't predict. The Prometheus Dawn twisted and rolled through space like a living creature, avoiding the precise but predictable firing patterns of the Cytherian weapons. Riley had been monitoring enemy communications throughout the battle. Captain, I'm detecting confusion in their tactical coordination. They don't understand how our weapons work, and their battle computers can't adapt to our maneuvering patterns. That's because they're trying to fight a human ship using alien logic, Elena replied with grim satisfaction. Jake, target their command systems. The matter displacement cannon fired again, this time striking the second cruiser's command bridge. The molecular disruption field spread through the ship's superstructure, causing catastrophic system failures throughout the vessel. Admiral Kekstar's command ship and the remaining cruiser attempted to retreat, but the Prometheus Dawn pursued them with relentless determination. The human vessel's biological armor absorbed the incoming fire, actually growing stronger with each attack, just as Amara had designed it to do. Their weapons are making us more powerful, Amara reported with amazement. The biological components are evolving in real time to counter their attack patterns. The final cruiser fell when Jake targeted its ammunition storage with surgical precision. The explosion was visible from the colony planet's surface, a bright star that suddenly bloomed and faded in the darkness of space. Admiral Kekstar's command ship found itself alone, facing a human vessel that should have been dead in space. The alien commander opened a communication channel, his previously arrogant demeanor replaced by genuine fear. "This is impossible," he transmitted. "Your technology is primitive. Your weapons are inferior. How can you be defeating us?" Elena's response was calm and measured. "Because you never understood what you were fighting. You saw our technology as primitive, but you failed to recognize that simplicity often means reliability. You saw our weapons as inferior, but you didn't realize that adaptability trumps sophistication. Most importantly, you underestimated the human spirit." The matter displacement cannon charged for its final shot. Admiral Kekstar's ship tried to flee, its engines straining against the limitations of its own advanced technology. But the Prometheus Dawn, powered by human determination and engineering ingenuity, was faster. The beam struck the command ship's central power core. The molecular disruption spread through the vessel systems like a plague, systematically destroying everything it touched. Admiral Kekstar's last transmission was a warning to his fleet. Beware the humans. They are not what they appear to be. As the wreckage of the Zetherian fleet drifted through space, Elena opened a channel to Epsilon 7. "Colony Command, this is Captain Rodriguez of the Prometheus Dawn. The threat has been neutralized. We're coming in to deliver your supplies." The response from the colony was filled with disbelief and joy. "Captain Rodriguez, we thought you were dead. The Zetherian fleet told us they had destroyed all human vessels in this sector." "Reports of our destruction were greatly exaggerated," Elena replied with a smile. "We'll be docking in 2 hours, with full terraforming equipment and medical supplies." As the Prometheus Dawn approached the colony, Jake stood beside Elena on the bridge. The ship around them hummed with the quiet efficiency of systems that had been rebuilt from the ground up using human ingenuity and determination. "You know," Jake said thoughtfully, "the Zetherians did us a favor. When they attacked us, they forced us to discover what we were really capable of." Elena nodded, watching the colony grow larger on the view screen. "Word of this battle will spread throughout the galaxy. Other species will learn, but humans are not to be underestimated." Riley looked up from her communication station. "Captain, I'm already intercepting transmissions from other sectors. The story of our victory is being told across multiple star systems. They're calling us the species that turns defeat into victory." Sean plotted their approach vector to the colony's docking bay. "What's our next mission, Captain?" Elena considered the question. The Prometheus Dawn was no longer just a research vessel. It had become something new, something that represented humanity's refusal to accept defeat. "We continue our mission of exploration and aid to the colonies, but now we do it with the knowledge that we can defend ourselves and others against any threat." Amara checked the biological systems one final time. The ship's adaptive capabilities are still evolving. Every challenge we face will make us stronger. As the Prometheus Dawn docked with Epsilon 7, the colonists gathered to welcome their saviors. But they were not greeting the same ship that had left Earth months ago. They were welcoming a vessel that had been forged in the fires of adversity and emerged as a symbol of human resilience. Elena addressed her crew one final time before disembarking. "We came out here to deliver supplies and conduct research. Instead, we've proven that human creativity and determination can overcome any obstacle. The galaxy now knows that humanity will not be intimidated, will not be conquered, and will never stop fighting for what's right." The story of the Prometheus Dawn spread throughout known space, becoming legend among human colonies and earning respect from alien civilizations. It became proof that sometimes the most advanced technology is no match for ingenuity, courage, and the unbreakable human spirit. And somewhere in the depths of space, other ships began to adopt similar modifications, turning civilian vessels into protectors of humanity's expanding frontier. The age of human expansion had truly begun, built on the foundation of a single crew's refusal to accept defeat. Asterisk.